It's Tony Hendrick with Painting Live. Painting. Painting Spirit. I'm live. So, today we're going to talk about co-creation. A lot of times in creating art, we're working with other people. And even if we're not working with other people, say we're alone in our studio, we are actually co-creating still. We're always co-creating. And this morning I'm going to be co-creating with still life. And the reason I'm picking this topic is because I'm going to be working on a commission, and I'm also working on a painting where I decided to go to the zoo and get photos of the tiger at the zoo. And I'm not sure where this subject's going to go, but I know that it is an important one when creating, to be aware of that we're always co-creating, whether it is a subject matter that we're working with, like the tiger in the zoo. I actually spoke to the tiger before taking photos. Because I wanted to be respectful coming into the tiger's space, and it actually didn't seem like the tiger was too interested in me. And I'm not much of a photographer. That's why I like to paint and do stuff with my paintings that I probably wouldn't be able to really do with a camera. I took photography at LCC and learned about all the technical stuff, but the way my mind works is if I haven't done something, shoot, within a week, I completely forget. And it can be even stuff that I've done for a lifetime. It's just the way my mind's put together. Anyway, so I'm taking pictures of this tiger, and it's walking around doing kinds of cool things, and it was a nice sunny day, so it seemed like the tiger, even though behind the cage, seemed to have some energy going on, which was nice. But I quickly realized that it's very difficult to get a good photo when you're shooting through a cage, because the cameras all now have autofocus, and I have one of those cameras that has autofocus, and I just couldn't get it to focus. It was getting very frustrating. So I ended up leaving, deciding I'll just go read the directions on this camera and come back tomorrow, which I did. I got myself all excited about it, and it was fun. It was actually fun for me to get out of my house and go do something when I'm feeling kind of inspired and engaged. Something kind of new for me. I had reasons for choosing this subject. A lot of times I will create a painting, and because I'm kind of just going with things, either painting from life or just an intuitive process. A lot of times I'm not sure what the painting is about for me until much later. But this one, I had an idea in mind. I wanted to do a painting on courage. Something that I've been personally looking at inside of myself on where is it that I find courage? And what is it that I need courage for? So I chose this tiger as my subject for that kind of painting, and just wanted to see where it would lead me. Well, so I went back the next day, was all determined, figured out how to work with shooting a photo through a cage and the settings, and had everything planned and figured out, and walked back there, and there's no tiger. And I had talked to the keeper at the zoo the day before to make sure the tiger would be out and available, and he was yep, we're going to be doing stuff in the morning, so come out in the afternoon. And anyway, so I was just fully expecting the tiger to be there, and I saw a sign that said too windy. So they actually had the tiger inside, so there's no way for me to get photos of it. So I was bummed out. Figured I'd just come back the next day. Anyway, I'm just going on and on about this, and the shorter version of this is I got back and decided to just go through these photos, and I found one where didn't really focus the greatest, but it was a great photo where the tiger decided to stretch on its back and kind of scratch itself on the ground, belly up. And that photo actually turned out fairly usable. And it started to inform my painting, which I really like now. I like this idea of courage that the lion has. Gives it the ability to expose its belly like that in kind of a playful way. Courage to play. Anyway, so this painting is evolving for me, and I guess I'm sharing that little bit of a story just because there's a lot of power in recognizing that everybody or things are informing us, giving us information about ourselves all the time. We're always co-creating with others. I had a painting at the art prize, and was asked to do a tour or a talk by the venue that I was exhibiting at, and it just sort of came to me when I was standing in front of a painting talking about this with the guests of Art Prize, that when you come up to a painting and you see the beauty in it, the reason you are able to see the beauty in it is because you actually have that beauty within inside of you. And to be aware of that is really empowering. Instead of looking at a Rembrandt and going, oh my God, he's amazing, and thinking that it's something that might be unattainable for you, is a bit deceptive. It's like I just said, the only way you're going to be able to see beauty in something is if that is something you can recognize. And the only way you can recognize it is if it's actually something that is part of you, of who you are. And unfortunately, the same is true for things we don't like. We got somebody that upsets us, or we imagine is upsetting us. Well, it might be an opportunity to look at something inside of myself that I have upset about. And the person's just simply given me this gift of recognizing I'm not doing something very positive within me. Oh, let's see. How can I get this painting to kind of come together? Got about halfway through, if not more. Let's bring in some darks, some shadows here. So, working on commissions can be something that, as an artist, you experience. And there can be lots of things that go on in a dynamic where you're doing art, creating artwork for somebody where they have expectations. And you have your own expectations. Well, it's a powerful, powerful practice of recognizing this truth that everything you're experiencing is coming from within you. Everything. And that's including our relationship with others. And doing a commission can be a great way to get in touch with dynamics within yourself around creating art. It might be issues, might be difficulties, and the way to overcome those is to get in touch with that simple truth. So simple we can hardly see it. When I have something going on inside of me that I want to blame another person for, I'm actually denying an aspect of myself. When I recognize it's inside of me, I can bring love to that part of myself that I've been in denial of. And that part of myself can begin to let go or heal or shift and change. And it can seem magical just with that one shift, recognizing that it's something that's happening inside of me. So, this little painting I'm doing is figured the subject of co-creating. I do a still life of something alive. This is a little plant I brought down into the studio. And it's a fun way to kind of work with abstraction. It creates a different feel to the space of, this painting is, if I hadn't said that it was a plant, you might not even recognize it, because I'm really just working with colors right now. But my mind is seeing this in 3 dimensions. It creates just me playing around with it can create this open space that I might not otherwise get if I'm just creating something out of my head. So another wonderful thing about creating from life, teach you about space. Learning about space is also finding space within. Yesterday I talked about allowing is an aspect of finding the space within yourself. Breathe. Open up. Take in all of life. Even the parts that are difficult, especially the parts that are difficult. Giving space for those to simply be might be the greatest gift you can give to yourself. Well, this is shaping up fairly good. Kind of like it where it's at. I'll just play around with a little detail here before my buzzer goes off. Bring in some yellows. There it goes. Yeah, just that little bit helped. I'm gonna maybe shift this color just a little bit. This is actually a little chair sitting behind the paint or the plant. Color is all relative. And I looked over there and I'm doing all these intense greens and I just did that yellow and looked back at the chair and saw, well, it's actually got some blues going on there, even though right now they're mixing with the yellow, creating a green. Might add a little purple to counter that green that's happening. Now that I got that purple in there. come back with some whites. Now I'm getting that more of a muted color that I was seeing in the chair. Yeah, that's just enough. All right, I might still play with this, but that's it for today. If you enjoy this, I appreciate the comments and the likes. I've been actually, the last couple of times I clicked saving this HD, and I think that made it difficult for people to see, so I'm gonna just do a regular save with this. So enjoy, get out your own brushes, and see you tomorrow.